brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you back to life, back to the one that can make your next chapter your best chapter. Hallelujah.
How can it be that you love the most unlovable part of me? How could you see your life was the only gift I'll ever need to be free? It's amazing. I win even this. Everything's working for my good always. Come on, he's
That's why
nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
let's go.
Can it be? Every one of my secrets got you here.
You cover me.
You cover me.
I appreciate it. It's amazing how
Patience with me, God will never leave.
you don't give up on me.
Never leave.
Help me
Help me to see.
like you. Hey,
Everything's working for my good always.
let me tell you what he does. And he will. Hallelujah. Not real superheroes. Love like this. And I promise you.
Nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes,
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I searched all over. You, that's right. Yes, and the church sang, come on. Jesus loving you. It sounds crazy, don't it? Hey. Let me tell you what it means. That's why. Father, I really mean it this time. Let me tell you what it does. Come on. People let you down, but see, I will never find a love like this. Forever and a day. Let me say it again. It feels so good. Yes. Hallelujah. For the rest of my life. Everybody say it. You. You're the savior.
All right, so that's a playthrough of the video. Even though there's notes on the screen that I was presenting while I was playing through it, I know that the song moves pretty quick, so I wanted to give you some additional instruction on how to play the song, kind of slow it down, go piece by piece through it. Also point out a few things that I'm not doing on the song that Travis does. For example, he does a lot of ghost notes, where I purposely just kind of kept it more simple. Also, one reason I kept it simple is because he does so many ghost notes that I don't have it actually perfected on everywhere that he does it. So I just decided to keep it more clean for now, although there's a few parts in the video where you can kind of hear me trying to subconsciously start going back into the ghost notes, and I had to kind of remember to keep it clean. So what I'm talking about on ghost notes is when you lightly or holding your finger against the string, so it's not actually pitching the note. So you get the kind of like that. So he does that all throughout the song. There's all kinds of ghost notes. So I'm not doing it in the playthrough that I did earlier. But just know if you want to get it more like the way he plays it, you'll want to throw in some ghost notes there. Also, another thing I want to point out is my slapping is terrible. So what I'm doing is very basic level. It's actually the first time I've ever publicly presented anything that I've played with slap. So yeah, congratulations for getting to hear that. So what I'm doing is very simple. So if you're not a slapper, I'll at least show you how you can get by on this song with some slapping and at least kind of fake your way through it. But if you're a better slapper than me, which you probably are, definitely embellish it more. I tried to at least get the basics of what he's doing. Let's see, also another thing, he's playing the song with a lot of chromatic notes, so know that there's going to be a lot of notes outside the key of the song, but there's also a lot of patterns that you'll see over and over in the song. He also moves around all over the fretboard. So he goes way up into some high registers here. He also does a little bit of chording stuff. Chording meaning chords. He's playing some chords meaning more one note at a time. Like that, for example, is one. He's got some other stuff where you're actually playing more than one note at a time. So he's doing stuff like that. So let's go ahead and go from the start of the song. Its first part is pretty simple. Basically, just kind of outlining the just using I can't think of the word, arpeggio. So he's just using some arpeggios there to kind of outline the chords and make a little bass line. And then here he ends back up on this G flat, but he's an octave higher instead of here. But he's just from there, he's repeating that same first part over again. And then when he comes to it again, now we're doing some octaves, and then he's doing some slides. And this is kind of a tricky part to do. So it's basically and he might not be going as far down as a half step to slide into it. He might just be doing more like a half step instead of a whole step, what I was just doing earlier. It looks like he moves a little bit less than I do, but either way, just kind of play with it until you get comfortable with it. And then he comes to this part, which is really, but he's just walking up to it. And then you have this slide here. And it's weird because you don't have much room here to do the slide. You only have one fret. So you have to, but it actually, if you get it, it sounds pretty cool. And then you slide up to here. So you go from here to here, which is you're on the 15th fret of the D string. And you're doing octaves here. There's a lot of octaves throughout the song. And again, there's probably going to be some ghost boat notes in there. So that's, and then sliding up to the B flat. Here's a tricky spot right here where this walk down here. Oops. It's kind of like a little bit of a trill. You're just kind of hammering on that note. It's not, it's, and then right back to here. And then you end up again, instead of though doing an octave here, you just do once on the G flat. Whoops, hold on. I think where I'm at. Here we go. And then you have these open strings on the E and the B string. Then here's that chord, which you're playing on the E string, the G flat on the E string, and the excuse me, the B flat on the G string, and then sliding it off. So, and so that can be a little bit of a weird kind of thing to do if you've never done any kind of chording or anything on the bass. And then this next run, you have a little bit of a pause, and then it's, oops, let me look where I'm at on the bass here. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera more and I'm looking at my bass here. So, it's just a matter of getting that line smooth. Usually, like a lot of the parts in this song, you'll want to put up a metronome and just start slow and just build up the speed. What's also hard on this song at times is knowing exactly how to finger something. So a lot of times I'm not plucking every string. So you might need to play around to find out, what kind of fingering technique works best for you. And then when you come out of that little riff, oops. Oops, I'm on the wrong spot of the bass, but it goes right back into that verse. Again, just like the first time through. And then this next time, this is probably one of the hardest fills right here in the song. And again, this is not exactly perfect to how he actually plays it. After I transcribed it and learned to play it, I listened back and like a little bit later and went, no, this is not exactly how he does it. So I apologize. This isn't note for note, but this is how I do it. Again, those chromatic walk-ups. And that's a really hard lick to do because the way it moves around and jumps from string to string, and it uses all 5 strings of your 5-string bass, which if you haven't noticed, of course, I'm playing a 5-string bass on this song, so if you've got a 4-string bass, you're probably going, hey, wait a minute, I can't do all those notes on a 4-string bass, and that's later in the song, there's even a lot more notes that are in these low registers that if you don't have a 5-string bass, you're going to have to figure out something different to do, maybe play up an octave on those spots. Or if you don't have a 5-string bass, you could... you could just maybe play that last note a couple more times instead of, dropping down to that low D flat. All right, so now, again, you play that chorus section, which is pretty much the same way you did it before. And then when you come back into this... right here. That's another section that's in the low register of the bass. And again, some chromatic notes happening there. You got the D, the E flat, G to A flat, the B flat, or excuse me, C to D flat, and then the F to G flat. So it's kind of a weird little run. And then right after that, you go right into another chromatic run. So it's again, it's these fast chromatic runs can be really tricky to do. I still need to polish it up a little bit because you're starting on an open string too. So that's 3 chromatic runs in a row if you want to look at it that way. So you go 1, 2, 3. So, oops. And then, if I'm at the right spot of the song, remembering correctly, yeah, this is where the slap bass would come in, and this is where I'm terrible. But basically, I'm just keeping it real simple, doing some octaves, and that's pretty much it. So, and doing some mutes, some ghost note type muting. That's one little riff in there. So that's the whole slap part, and then coming out of it where you then are no longer slapping. And again, more chromatic notes. So you got this, I'll just go back to the slap again. So basically you're on G flat, and you can do octaves. So G flat to the F, and then up to the B flat. And you can use this A flat as a transition back to the G flat. Here's the second time through. It's got this run right here where you're basically just A flat, B flat, D flat. And then here it's D flat, E flat, back to the D flat. And then right here you transition back to finger style, and you go B, G flat, B. So up to an A. You kind of slide into those notes. All right, so the slap part is done, thank God. All right, and so this next riff here is pretty much kind of, I think it's kind of mimicking what the other instruments are doing. It's kind of a very melodic, nice little thing there, but you're basically, key to it is sliding into it. And again, you're going up to the 15th fret on the G string. And then immediate right after that, you're going into some more chordal stuff, chordal chords where you're playing more than one note at a time. And I really don't know if this is anywhere quite close to what he plays. Every time I listen to it, it sounds much different than this, but I'll admit this is one area where I had to look at what somebody else had transcribed out for the song, so I'm just playing what somebody else had come up for it because I couldn't figure it out. And so what they had on their transcription was where you're holding down, you see my 2 fingers here on the 10th fret on the G string, the 11th fret on the D string, and then you hammer on the 13th fret on the D string. So, and then fret these 2 notes again. So it's, oops. So let me get through that again. Oh man. So then you have, and then you're going to do the slide up. Again, you're playing 2 notes at a time, 2 strings at a time. Ugh. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, because that's hard to explain. So just play it over and over, get used to it. And if you find something online that better explains exactly what Travis is doing there, I would go with that, because that's one part that I'm like, I don't really know if that's right. Okay, so moving on, everything else is pretty much the same, so I'm not going to go over the chorus section again. The main thing, though, is there's that one really cool break where, and it's a fast break too, where it's, and that's, this is one that I always fumble on with my fingers, because I'm not really a fast player. I'm more of an in the pocket player, so this song's really been kind of challenging me in a fun way. So you're on that G flat, and then watch my fingering. Instead of me trying to explain to you every single note I'm playing here, just watch my fingers. I'll try to play one finger per fret here. So. 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 And again, that might not be exactly what Travis is playing. He also does some kind of weird thing. I was trying to figure out watching it over and over, but there's something where he's bending or twisting a note around in some weird way, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. But again, this is another riff that I had to look at what somebody else had notated out for the song. So again, that's. Throwing in that octave at the end, and then some ghost notes until you go into that B flat section. All right, so the final part of the song, I won't play or go through the chorus again, because all of those sections kind of repeat the same way. So at the end of the song, there's a cool little part here where he goes back to the. And this part is very similar to the other parts of the song. Again, he's repeating a lot of the same ideas over and over, but instead of that part where it's, instead he's taking out those chromatic walk-ups and just doing. And then again, those are the same two notes that we had earlier on in the song, where we had that weird chord at the end of the chorus. So same ideas. He's using two different ideas, and again, without the chromatic walk-ups. So it's. And again, another chromatic walk-up to that note, and then coming down and hitting the G flat, making that chord again. So pretty cool. I like what he's doing there. Yeah, so that's it for the song. It's a lot of fun to play. It's more of a challenge than what I'm usually able to play or have the opportunity to play, since a lot of Christian music that I play is a lot more simple. It's usually just, same four chords, just in a different order and in a different key. And so a lot of root notes. And so it's fun to be able to actually play something that moves around on the neck. And it's just a real joy to play. Even if you don't play it 100% perfect, I'm not playing 100% perfect, but it's still a lot of fun to play, and develops me as a bass player. And that's the whole key is, even if you don't play worship music like this at your church, still, it's fun to learn and to stretch your abilities. And so that's the goal here. So, yeah, this video was helpful for you. If you learned something from it, definitely like and subscribe, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more information like this. So God bless you. Thanks so much for watching.